I'm curious, like, what's it like growing up in Vegas? I'm assuming you didn't grow up like on the strip, right?
That's a crazy question. Didn't grow up on the strip because I get that all the time. Like, I remember one time when I went on a cruise with my friend, like we were in middle school, and everyone found out that we were from Vegas. And I'm like, oh, like what hotel do you live in? I'm like,
Mm.
what? I live in a hotel. So Vegas is really cool to grow up in because you have like the strip and then you have off the strip. And I think a lot of people don't know like off the strip. Off the
Hmm.
strip is beautiful, very residential, very clean. So many like delicious restaurants off. There's
Hmm.
this word in Armenian, it's called a chites, and that means like somebody who hasn't seen life. Like, and I feel like people who, does that make sense? Like, I don't know how to
Hasn't
describe it.
seen life,
Like, so a chites is like somebody who hasn't like seen life, like
like
explored, and
experience life.
they're like amazed by every little thing, and they're like they just like they find out, I don't know, something like a dinner is like 500. They're like, "Oh my God, 500 for a dinner," type of thing. So like
Mm.
even
I
though
got you.
500 for a dinner is crazy, like you don't express it and you're like, that's a chutas. So I feel like people in Vegas growing up, like it's less of chutas energy because you really see from the top to the bottom. I mean, there's
Right.
amazing sides of Vegas and also just like every other city, there's like the bad sides. We grew up, everything in Vegas is also very close. So like 15-20 minute drive for us is so normal. So when we go
Hmm.
outside and we like drive 20 minutes to a coffee shop in LA, we're like, what is this? But then
Right.
that's also great for LA, you know, it's like pretty short.
Yeah. I mean, I was saying this to people when I was there. But I've been living in New York now for like 8 years, and
Oh,
New
love
York
that
is
city.
insane, and I
Hmm.
can relate to what you're saying in terms of like seeing the highest best
Sure.
restaurants in the world, and then also like
Yeah.
some pretty rough areas and everything in between. But when I get to Vegas, I've only been there a couple times, but I'm like, it doesn't even matter that I live in New York. Like nothing can prepare me for this like crazy town. Like at least the strip, like the shit that you see, like the people that you see, like the just the vibe.
I
It's
know.
one of a kind. Nothing. I've never been anywhere remotely close. The only small comparison I like to make is Miami,
I get
with
that a lot.
obvious without the
Yep.
casinos, obviously, but just like a similar type of like vice driven like environment,
Party. It's
party
very party.
environment.
Yeah. But the
Yeah, and
difference with New York and like Vegas for like the food wise, like where you're like very high versus like low, like high end versus just like regular restaurant, you know, is that they can
mm,
be like right next to each other in New York. In Vegas,
yeah,
like that's not how it is. It's like on the other side of Vegas. You know what I mean?
totally.
So
Everything
it's
in the
so different.
casinos are, first off, time doesn't exist when you're on the strip. I don't know
That's so
if
funny.
that's something that doesn't make sense to you being there, but
Yeah.
2 a.m. in Vegas and 2 p.m. Like if you just spun me around 10 times and told me one of the like, I wouldn't be able to tell you the difference. It's just the same exact energy. It's so strange to me. Like it's just one of a kind. When you go out in Vegas, when you go out in Vegas now, like where do you go? Like what's like a night out for you in Vegas? Is it like dinner? Like what hotel do you go to? Do you gamble? Like do you not gamble? Like what's like someone from Vegas do when they go out in Vegas?
Well, I actually think a lot of people that live in Vegas do go gamble, but something that my boyfriend and I really love to do is we like to go to the win shops or win and just window shop, or we like to go to comedy show, the Comedy Cellar at, where is it?
Mm,
One of the hotels, I can't remember which one. We like to go to dinner on the strip. Everything that you probably like to do, we do, just minus the
yeah,
partying,
right,
unless it's like a special occasion. And then
right.
that's
But
fun
not
because then
even yeah. But
you have
there's
like connects.
shows and
Yeah.
yeah. You probably know people. That's true. You know people
Yeah.
in these places. You might know people that work at these restaurants. Yeah.
Hmm.
It sounds similar to like I guess someone asked me a question about New York. I would say the same exact thing.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, like where you would go. So the Win, yeah, the Win is known as like the best hotel. Everyone wants to go there, so that makes sense.
Love it. And also the forum, is it forum shops at the, no, that's the crystals. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The forum shops at the crystals. Love that. Because then it's connected to Toca Madera, which is like a really just fun restaurant to go to.
Yeah, I think there's one here in New York.
I think so too.
Sounds
I think so
familiar.
too. Yeah.
Okay,
But the
so
Comedy Cellar in New York is the best one.
the best. That's one of my favorite places to go, like in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if family comes in town or friends come in town, or even like my fiance and I, like we actually, I don't think I've been to the Comedy Cellar with her, but we talk about going and we should go because it's just like you never know who you're going to see. Comedy
No.
is just like 10 out of 10.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know there was one in Vegas. That's amazing. Next time I'm in Vegas, I'll try and get over
Yeah.
there.